All right. So, we're coming back with another story time. Now, I'm not the biggest of YouTubers, obviously, but I got some likes on the last one. I got some laughs. I got some of my buddies who ended up watching the last one. So if you didn't watch it, go and check it out. It's pretty fucking funny. I'm gonna leave a link to it, and I'll probably start up a playlist of some story times that that I start to post. This is only gonna be the second one, so go back and go watch the first one. You'll have a fun laugh. We're gonna get right into it. So this one here is gonna be my first fight that I ever had. Um, so yeah, so we'll just get right into it. So I was in eighth grade at the time, and I was, I had just turned, nope, I ain't just turned, I was 14, it was the end of 8th grade. It was like heading into summer. Like we were still in school, but it was towards the end. Now, when I was in 8th grade, I didn't have like one entire group of friends. I kind of had friends that I just hung out with. Like I didn't have a big group. Like a lot of kids then, they hung out in groups. Like they would have, at least like four or five, six people that they all hung out with, and they were like a group. They hung out, they did everything together. I didn't really have that. I had a handful of friends that I would chill and kick it with, but other than that, I was kind of just like I chilled. I was in the crib. I was playing video games at the time. Fucking Fortnite was in its prime. So I wasn't really. I didn't have like a whole group of friends. I just had a few that I would hang out with. And yeah, we just kind of chilled. I was big on Fortnite then, like I said, Call of Duty, shit like that, And I just kind of just kept to myself a little bit. And at that year, eighth grade, that's when I started to boxing as well. So I wasn't playing any school sports anymore because I was only boxing. All right, so we were, like I said, eighth grade. Now, when you're in, a lot of kids that went to school in my neighborhood, if you were like beginning of high school, or not even really in high school, like middle school. So anything from like sixth to like eighth, ninth grade, you always would hang out at the same spot. It was the elementary school, but the reason why that spot was so popular was it had basketball courts, it had a big ass field, like it had shit that you could do and play with your boys at, and then it also had fucking a McDonald's, like right next door to it. So the spot was hot. A lot of people went there. If you rode your bike and you couldn't drive, that was the perfect spot to go to and chill with your friends. However, prefacing that, you have a bunch of fucking derelict, dumbass kids that hang out there, and a lot of trouble happened there. A lot of fights. If you vaped for the first time, there's a good chance it was fucking there. Your first fight. Bunch of bullshit happened at this spot. This was kind of like the where everyone hung out, but a lot of trouble, bullshit, had also happened there too. So this spot, like I said, it's basically like the fucking like the Compton of our neighborhood, like where all the bullshit and the drama went down. So I was there with one of my friends, and I saw like a bunch of there were other groups of people that were there as well. So I was there with my friend, and like two or three, maybe even four other groups of friends were also already there, just chilling, whatever. So I was with my boy. We were chilling, whatever. And like I said, there was more kids there as well, other groups of friends that were there, and they had their own shit going on. We ended up playing a game of basketball. It was cool or whatever, and then the other friends, the other groups of kids, they wanted to join up and play. So we end up running the games. We start playing, and the kid on the other team, he just starts like OD fouling me, like fucking essentially tackling me. And we're playing on a outdoor court, like it's rough, like it's not like. And this kid's fat as fuck too, like he's fucking enormous, and he's like OD tackling, fouling me for like no reason at all. Now, the other group of friends, like I know them, we go to school together. They're kind of cool, they're not bad, but this one kid particularly, he was like, I feel like he just kind of wanted to like prove himself, kind of like I mean you were in eighth grade, bro. We don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm just kind of letting y'all know like how this shit escalated from the jump. So I'm not gonna put a picture of him, but I'll paint a picture for you. So this kid, he's fat as shit, right? Like mad out of shape. He's got man tits. He's got no neck. He's got three or four chins. He has a horrible speech impediment, and he doesn't really go to school. Like he doesn't. I don't know if that started yet, but that started like later. But the kid like rarely went to school. Like he would just not go, and he wasn't like really good at anything that I could think of. And he really wasn't funny. Like he didn't really have anything going for him, but he was hanging around with this group. And I guess at the time, the group, like I said, were 13, 14 years old. I guess they didn't pick up on that yet and realize like this kid's a fucking like a fat loser, basically. All right. So I hope I got the picture painted. Some, I'm at the park with one of my friends. We're hooping. Another group of friends pull up. Well, they were there. They wanted to pull up and play. We start playing, and then like one of the kids that are playing in that group, he's fucking enormous, ridiculous looking, and he starts fouling me OD for really like no reason. So the game ends. Um, I'm pretty much done. I'm just kind of chilling. I'm thinking maybe we'll go play some football now because we have football there in the big ass field. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm like, okay, like what, fucking like whatever. I'm chilling. The game's over, thankfully. I ain't really get hurt. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna go and play some football. That's what's next. Maybe go get some food after, so because there's McDonald's there. So at the time, I have my phone on me. Excuse me, I have my phone on me. Like I said, I'm with my boy, and I remember this because I didn't have any pockets in my shorts. For some reason, I remember that, and the reason why I remember that is I put my phone in his backpack because I want to hold it. So he's playing football, and I'm standing on the whole other end of the court, um, on my where my phone is. I put my phone down, and like they got like a little basketball game going and then a football game going. So I'm just kind of like chilling there because I was on my phone for a while, and then I just start like shadow boxing, and then like this fat kid starts talking shit on like the other end of the court, and like no, really like no reason. Like I really didn't understand why this kid was picking a fight with me. It didn't really make much sense. Like he just like was bullying me for essentially no reason. And looking back at it, I totally understand why. When you look like the way how you do, I don't care how old you are, you're gonna hate yourself. You know what I mean? If you're fat and you have a speech impediment, you can barely put a sentence together, and you have like I said, no neck and four chins, you're gonna fucking hate yourself. So you're gonna want to go after other people that are not fat and that can speak straight. So I'm chilling, I'm shadowboxing, and I'm on one end of the court, and the fat dude is all the way on the other end of the court. And he's like, "Yo, you're not even like a good boxer. You're not even like you can't even fight." And then like, all right, now I'm thinking like, all right, this dude was fouling me OD. He's like, you know, he's just shit talking for like no real reason. Like I really didn't say anything to him that I could remember. Maybe I did. I don't fucking know. Very possible that I was shit talking him back after he had started. Not that I give a fuck on who started it. I beat the fuck out of him. But I'm like, all right, like what the fuck, like what are you gonna do about it? Like you ain't gonna do shit. That's what I said to him. I felt like a badass saying that shit. I felt like primetime Conor McGregor when I said that bullshit. And then he said some shit about my mom. He didn't even know my mom. He was just saying like basically like a yo mama joke. That's like the best I guess he could come up with. And then I'm like, all right, cool. And then he walks over to me and he's got his hands up kind of. And I'm like, I'm ready to go. So basically, I hit him with a jab. This is the entire fight. I hit him with a jab. Then I take a half a step back. I hit him with another jab, and mind you, he's a fat motherfucker. I like open palm slapped him in the belly. I hit that motherfucker in the belly with my left hand. So like on the side that is liver at. And he looks at me, he's like, well, that didn't hurt. I'm like, okay. Then he turns to do like some fucking corkscrew retard attempt of a right hand. Like he literally totally turned his body like 100, not quite 180. I'd say like 150 degrees. And then I just blasted him with a left hand, and I felt that shit. I mean, I'm in 8th grade, so I don't punch that hard. But I fucking landed that shit flush. And then he walked away after that, and I guess he realized, when you're that fat, you can't really you're physically incapable. So that's what happened with that. He walked away, and then all of his boys were like, "Damn, yo, what the fuck? Like you just pieced that dude up." And it wasn't anything impressive, but like compared to him, like I said, when you're that size and physically incapable, everything is cool. So I basically I just tapped him up a little, a few love taps, nothing crazy. There was no blood or anything, but I saw him like he walked away and he was like he wasn't like knocked out or anything, but he definitely felt it. Because I know I felt that shit on my hand, like the bone. Like when you connect something hard, you feel the force. If you ever punched anything. So that was pretty much it. That's the story of my first fight. I'm 1-0 on the street. Hashtag gangster. 14-year-old me. Like I said, I really didn't get into many fights. I just started bad there. My bad. I didn't get into many fights. I kind of minded my business. I really didn't look for much trouble. But he really insisted, and I don't really understand why. I still don't. That was in 8th grade. I've seen him ever since then, and he's been kind of quiet. And last time I seen him, he was fat. So my correlation here is, if you're fat, you gotta stop eating, and you'll start to love yourself more. You can't be fat and be happy. I don't really think those things correlate. Because you just walk around with this burden on you that just it literally weighs you down, and it weighs down, I think, your happiness. It weighs down everything about you. Everything that's good about you, it weighs you down. So that's the story of my first fight. We're running out of time here, and you know I just wanted to keep it. I just wanted to come on here, say another story time. I hope you guys had a bit of a laugh. You know, and yeah, I'm gonna try to upload a little bit more. I'm getting more and more used to this Sony Vegas. So I really like this style of videos because it's fun. I just record and then I just sit here and chat shit and say some funny shit. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. And yeah, bro. If you have a fat friend, tell him to lose some weight. And his life will become better. I could guarantee you. So I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.